Simus here, and welcome back to Ark Survival Evolved. As you can see, I named my mammoth. Very original. His name is now Shadow. Anyways, some of you are probably already noticing we're not on Herb Island right now. In fact, Herb Island is over there. So what we've been working on since the last episode is this monstrosity here. This is our new forward operating base. The reason why we need a forward operating base is for this guy. So since the last episode, I went out and I tamed myself a parasaur. And you guys are lucky I didn't record that because that was a very frustrating trip. I had to go all the way into the swamps to get this guy. But anyways, I also have a Dodocarus now. As you can see, her name is Azu. She's a very cute blue dode. But anyways, I'm going to show you this first. I did upgrade the raft to stone. I'm not super fond of the looks, but I am really tired of having to repair my raft all the time from Sarcos and whatnot. It's really quite frustrating, so I just went ahead and upgraded that. I'm probably not going to keep any storage on here anymore, because every time I have a box on here it gets wrecked. So we're just going to go without. You'll also notice I have changed the configuration a little bit. I used to have the ramps on the front, but now I have them in the side. This is to make docking easier, because it's incredibly difficult to pull out of the dock from the front without knocking your animals off the pier, because they hit these things. I guess if you don't have the pier part, like the pillars, it wouldn't be an issue, but for me it is. So that's what I did to fix that. You also notice this one is much wider than the one at Herb Island. This is to make sure everything can pass, not that anything really needs to, but. So anyway, this is a little tower thing I've been working on. I was hoping to actually get this whole base done to show you guys, but as you can see, not gonna happen. Just constructing this has been taking way longer than I thought it would. Let me just show you what's in here. Unfortunately, because there's a foundation here, you have to crouch to get inside, and there's that sticking through the ceiling. But this is going to be the little, I'm going to put a bed here in a box, a couple boxes, and this is just going to be like the fast travel room. And then here goes up to the first level of my tower with railings so you don't fall off. And if you want to do something like this and have this pillar go up here, you do have to place the fence foundation. You see it right here. You have to place that before you place this pillar or any of these ceilings. I actually had to take this whole thing apart and redo it just because of that, because it would not snap in here. It kept trying to snap to the top. So that was a fun extra 20 minutes of my time. So then you go up here and you get to the next level. I'm thinking I might put some plant X up here at some point. We don't really need them, but I think with Terra being kind of, but not really hippie sort of, it would be good for defense just in case something does come over here. I really haven't seen anything worse than a Delo, so I won't worry about it. And then up at the top here is our flag. We don't have official colors yet. Haven't decided what colors we want to do. Probably green and something else. But anyways, this is basically like a watchtower so you can see what's going on. More for this way because of the ladder. You can't put a railing here, but you can get a nice view of Herb Island as well. I probably will make this taller later on once we have that side of the base done. But for now, it's just, I think it's good as it is. It's not quite what I had wanted it to be, but it's very functional. It's mostly for looks. Like this is a guard tower basically. And it also functions as a fast travel room. So let's go back down here. And, oops, crouch. So yeah, so this is the dock. I didn't want to put it out too far because I really couldn't go any further out without putting ceilings. And I don't like, I'm getting really tired of using ceilings for elevated everything because of the fall through the floor problem. But this side here is going to be the interesting bit. This is going to be kind of like, it's going to look almost like a crane. It's not a crane, obviously, but it's going to be so that you can be like level with your tall animals, like the parasaur and later the brontos. So you can get stuff on and off them and actually dismount them without dying, basically. I mean, I have a ladder on here, but before I had that, I actually had to turn cheats on for stats because I was falling off them so much trying to build that. But so this is going to be an interesting design issue. Ideally, I'm going to have a different, like, kind of a bay for each animal. So we're going to need at least 3 bays. One for parasaur and then the 2 brontos. Because I learned this the hard way. Parasaurs do not fit on rafts. You can fit a T-Rex on a raft, and you can fit a mammoth on a raft, but you cannot fit a parasaur. And it was not for lack of trying. I tore my raft apart, I extended it, all kinds of crazy stuff, and it just would not. So I actually had to have him follow my raft and keep to the shadows. But anyway, as you can see, his name is Chef, because this parasaur is going to be our mobile jerky factory, I guess you would call it. So if you come over here to the ladder, we come up here, and we have all our campfires for actually cooking the prime meat that we're going to need. You can see another fence thing here. I tried to do the pillars on the corners, but you can't do that many structures on a saddle. I actually only have about 3 left on this one before I hit the limit again. So I had to pull this all apart too, and that was fun because it's all stone. So that's that. And up here on level 2 is all the fun stuff. So we've got 3 preserving bins for making jerky, mortar for making narcotics from all the spoiled meat, a bed because chances are I'm gonna die at least once while doing this, and a little box for storage. Unfortunately, I don't have room to put any railings up, so we just have to be really careful when we're using it. But basically, the reason why I put all of this onto a second floor and didn't just extend the bottom one out is because I'm really getting tired of things clipping through the bottom of like platforms and rafts and destroying everything. So this is my solution. Basically, we're just going to keep the important stuff out of reach. I don't plan on taking him very far into the north or anything like that, so Argents aren't going to be an issue. But he was, like, we got attacked by a Rex coming back with the Dode, and he ate my campfire that I had over there. And that's like the 10th item I've had eaten off either a platform or a raft, and I'm tired of it. So I put all the easily replaceable stuff down here. So basically just the fires. And all the actual good stuff is up on the second floor. You know, it's definitely not an aerodynamic design or anything. It's not my best work by any stretch of the imagination. I actually did have more ceilings down here, but since I hit the limit anyway, it didn't matter, so I just took them down. But that's basically what we've got here, so we can start working on our jerky. I'm getting turtle eggs slowly, but I am getting them, so before you know it, we'll be off taming brontos and getting ready to take on the Alpha Rex. But for now, we just have this guy. will say with the new flea mechanic, well, it's not new now, but with the flea mechanic that did not exist originally, it is really hard to tame these guys. Because I've noticed parasers in particular are very 50-50 on whether they want to attack you or just run away from you. So, actually I got lucky. This guy was stuck, so I built spike walls around him, then started KOing him. And then we were really unlucky. I put up so many spike walls to protect him, and a carno jumped off the cliff above us and hit him. He was one hit away from dying by the time I got rid of the carno. So that was not a fun evening. I was really frustrated by the time we got home. It was super late too, like 1 a.m. in the morning or something crazy like that. So, him not fitting on the raft was like the cherry on a crap cake. It was just horrendous. And I realize I say that word a lot, it just applies to so many situations in this game, which is unfortunate. Got this little guy here. She is very low level, but she's blue. Who doesn't want a blue dude? So she was I basically got her just to make the raft upgrade and the parasaur saddle, because I don't like wasting my tools if I can just get an animal. I was thinking about getting an ape, but I would have to go get some snake eggs first. But anyway, so we can actually probably get ready to take her home. But that's basically what's going on right now. Unfortunately, I don't have a very big update today because, as you can see, this is very much under construction. I just wanted to have at least something to show you guys. But this is actually a lot of work to set up. Actually, I had most of the dock materials already, but having to rebuild this thing like once over already, and everything misplacing. I had to replace that ceiling right there about 6 times to get it to place right. But that's basically what's going on right now, is that we're just gonna do a lot of building for right now because I really want to get this going so I can get him going and we can make some jerky. I'd say, I wouldn't say we're halfway through this playthrough, but we are making quite a lot of progress, all things considered. I mean, I haven't expanded Herb Island out as much as I wanted to, but I have to say, as a base location, I'm really not that fond of it. It's a very nice little spot, it's very nice and safe and protected, but it's very isolated, and doing this playthrough, I've learned the hard way. Herb Island is a pain if you are not using birds for anything, because it takes forever to get anywhere. I had to go all the way up to Far's Peak to get my Dode, and that was like a half-hour trip on itself, because you had to cross all the way over there, past the end of the swamp, and then up into the mountains. Like, that's ridiculous. Especially when none of the herbivores are really that fast. Chef is actually, he moves pretty well. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump on him here. So as you can see, this looks kind of ridiculous. Our building physics are clearly not real world physics. But as you can see, it does pretty well. I'm not really going to be taking on too much that can actually reach his platform. I'm probably just going to go to the end of the swamp and kill snakes and whatnot. But the occasional, like, stealth Rex or something like that, or another carno jumping off a cliff on me at an inopportune moment, I just want to be able to counter that without losing all my stuff all the time. I'd say that's one of my main frustrations through this playthrough, has been losing stuff for silly reasons. Actually, we're gonna give him a little more HP. I want him to be able to survive when we're out in dangerous areas. Getting him home from the swamp was really tough, because I had him and my Yankee, and we were getting attacked seriously every 10 feet the entire way out of the swamp, and I had to go like halfway in to get this guy. I wanted a higher level one, but I actually ended up, actually I didn't kill it, but it did get killed by some demos. So that was not fun. But I'm definitely going to have to make this tower bigger because I think my platform is actually taller than the tower. It is. And that's just kind of silly. It kind of defeats the point of it being a tower. It's not the tallest thing. Like, maybe if I'm really ambitious, I'll try to get it to go above that cliff level there. As you can see, I'm trying to keep some of these trees. There we go. Let's just chill out in the water a little bit. So that's basically what's going on for right now. This isn't going to be a very long video because it's, like I said, this is a really big project. Like, I'm going to have to extend this out a lot more. This guy, if I park him here, you do not have the proper reversing lights. So if I were to park him here like this, he would need basically this entire spot right here. So that's basically just going to be his little docking bay kind of thing. And you figure I'm going to have at least 2 Brontos that are going to need to fit over here too. And actually, I probably should have done it on that side now that I think of it, because there's not a lot of room right here for Brontos. But we're going to have to make it work because of the way that I place things. You can't place any more foundations on that side. You saw before was the ceiling in one spot. But that's basically what we've got going on. Other than that, not much has changed. So I've just been taming and building, basically. I probably will do a video when we go to tame the Brontos because that's a pretty big part of this entire playthrough is getting our battle Brontos. But most of the tames, like I know we saw most of the mammoth and the first turtle army, but most of those I'm going to be doing off camera. I know they're not the most exciting thing to witness, but at the same time, it's a fairly big part of this playthrough that we're only taming herbivores. So I thought it would be good to show you guys like how things change when you're taming just herbivores as opposed to having a mix. The biggest thing I have to say about that is that it is way slower with just herbs because you don't have anything fast, and most herbivores are okay at defending themselves, but the sacrifice to speed is just ridiculous. Like, mammoths are great, they're pretty fast. Parasaurs are also pretty fast. But then we're going to be going with the Bronto, who is ridiculously slow. I'm kind of hoping the Diplodocus, when that comes out, it's going to be significantly faster. I mean, it's going to have that 3-seater saddle and whatnot, but I'm just hoping that it's going to be faster than the Bronto, because that's going to be so much easier for getting around on a large herbivore. And honestly, I really wish the Titanosaur was out right now, because we would totally get one of those. I don't care how hard it is, or if you have to like climb up its back and bash it in the face with a club for an hour. Like, we're getting one at some point. Like, probably not this playthrough, because as far as I know, it's not even close to being done. But I think those things would just be so amazing to have. If it was in the game, we would be going after a Giga and not a T-Rex. Even though Alpha Rexes are theoretically stronger, let's face it, Gigas are essentially invincible right now. And there are ways to deal with them. I know a few, I guess you could call it, tricks to kill them. But even with Battle Brontos, No, that's just not gonna work. So yeah, that's about it. All we've got going. I am basically out of materials again. And I've got not even half of our little base. Because I still need to do a little supply depot type thing. Because I want to put a smithy here for repairing my hatchet specifically. Since we're going to have to be hatcheting everything for meat. And as you can see, my hatchet's already pretty low on damage. So I'm going to need that. Probably not a forge. I still want Herbivore Island to be our main base. But we are going to be spending a lot more time over here and less time on the island itself. Simply because, well, half of the stuff that we need is going to be over here. Not even half, I'd say most of it. Because we do still need metal for tools and stuff, so that's on Herb Island. Most of the animals are still over there. And the turtles, and the farm, and everything like that. So mostly it's just going to be the big animals here. Once we're done building, I am going to take the mammoths back, and it's going to be just the Parasaur and the Brontos over here. And then the Plant X will be essentially our main defenses here. I might put up a perimeter, because there was one here earlier. Brontos do spawn here, and I'm getting really tired of large animals trampling all of my stuff. So we're gonna have to do something about that. So probably a stone perimeter. Probably have to do that cliff too. That's gonna be See, that's the thing with the AI. Why do they just walk off cliffs? Nothing in... Like, lemmings don't actually do that in real life. That's just a caricature. So basically nothing actually does that. But in Ark, everything does it, like that Carno. But I've seen Brontos do it too. That's amazing and both incredibly stupid at the same time. But anyways, so that's basically it for today. Like I said, we're just building lots of stuff. I'm not sure I like the design of this building, but I don't feel like redoing it. I think it's interesting, just not well thought out enough. But we are gonna do some work trying to make our little super fancy bay things here, and hopefully I will have something a little more substantial to show you in the near future. But for now, thank you for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.